Better late than never. This is the American Bass 7D.
Who do you think that you are? Fancy car. Ha. You don't think you gotta work hard.
Today we're testing the American Bass Godfather 7D, a Class D monoblock rated at 7,000 watts RMS, but this amp has a bit of a backstory. I already did a video on the Godfather 5D, which I'll link up here. That was part of a 3 amp deal I worked out with American Bass to test and review some of their gear. But out of the 3 amps they sent me, 2 were dead, 1 showed up blown, and the other failed right away. This 7D never worked from the start. I reached out to them, but never heard back. No repair, no replacement, just silence. So I ended up paying out of pocket to have it repaired locally. The tech told me both this one and the 11D had bad power supplies, so he upgraded them with better components. So now we're here. I'm going to run it on the Dyno and see what it can actually do. And for the record, I don't have anything against American Bass, but when 2 out of 3 amps fail and the company ghosts you, since I had to fund this myself, I can't just pretend that didn't happen. Even if the amp performs well, I can't recommend it. Not after how this whole thing was handled. Maybe it was a mistake, maybe they didn't test it, I don't know. But it's not the kind of experience I'd want anyone else to go through. Before we get into the dyno numbers, let's talk about the I/O and features on the Godfather 7D, because there's actually a good amount going on here. Starting with the RCAs, you've got 1 set of RCA inputs left and right, and 1 set of RCA outputs, so if you're daisy chaining another amp, you're covered. Then you've got a dedicated strap input and output RCA, which lets you bridge or strap 2 amps together. Right next to those is a master slave switch, which tells the amp what role it's playing in that strapped setup, whether it's the one taking the signal or the one giving the power. There's also a remote input for the included bass knob, and right above that you've got your standard power, protect, and clip LEDs, so you can quickly spot if something is wrong and you're pushing it too hard. On the power side, this amp means business. You've got 2 oversized 0-gauge power and ground inputs, which is what you want for something rated at 7,000 watts. Then you've got 4 speaker output terminals, which look like 8-gauge, and even the remote turn-on terminal is 8-gauge, because why not go overkill while we're here? Tuning options are solid too. Gain is from 0.2 volts to 6 volts, low-pass filter adjustable between 35 and 250 hertz, subsonic filter from 10 to 50 hertz, and a bass boost that goes up to 12 dB at 45 hertz. It's fuse rated for around 550 amps, so don't expect this to run on stock wiring. You'll need a real electrical system behind it. Now that we've covered the hardware, let's see what kind of power this thing actually puts out. If you're new here, this is all pretty easy to follow. The LF audio voltmeter up top is showing our voltage during the run. Then we've got 2 SMD tools below. The AMM1 tells us how many watts the amp is making, and the distortion detector lights up when the signal starts clipping. Normally I use a smart Android display to show real-time current draw, but something's up with it today. It's not reading right, so for now I've got my iPhone up there as a temporary backup. Unfortunately, it won't go into landscape mode. I'm not saying it can't, I'm just saying I don't feel like fighting with it. It'll be swapped back to an Android by the next show. Anyway, for this test we're doing a 2 ohm run, uncertified, as well as a dynamic. Then we'll move over to a 1 ohm run. Everything's done at 40 hertz. Let's go. Alright, 2 ohm uncertified. We've got 4,538 watts at 386 amps with a voltage dipping to 14.01 volts. Now, you might notice slightly higher numbers on the meters, like 403 amps, and here's why. A lot of people just use the peak current draw from the meter, even if that peak happens after the amp already hits its wattage, but I don't do it that way. I calculate efficiency based on the numbers at the moment the amplifier reaches its rated power, not what happens after. That's the most accurate way to measure how efficient the amp is while doing the work. If you include the trailing current, you're basically penalizing the amp for delivering power it was supposed to. So using that method, this run comes out to about 83.9% efficiency, which is actually really solid for a high output monoblock block at 2 ohms. All right, 2 ohm dynamic test. 5,432 watts. 5,432. 1 ohm uncertified. We pulled 6,046 watts, drawing 547 amps with voltage dipping to 13.78 volts. That gives us an efficiency of about 80.2%, which is still solid considering the load and the current, and it's at 1 ohm. 1 ohm dynamic test. All right, 8,458 watts. It's quite a bit of dynamic headroom. 8,458 watts. So let's talk about the Godfather 7D real quick. We got 6,046 watts at 1 ohm uncertified, which isn't terrible, but it's not 7,000. And with a name like 7D, most people expect it to hit that number certified. American Bass doesn't specify how they rate these amps, so people assume the number is clean power, but this one just didn't get there. Even after the rebuild that we did on it, it still couldn't make its rated power. But I'll come back to that in just a second. First, huge shout out to Eric Dye and Scott J. Knight for picking up light boxes this month and helping support the channel. Those are still up for grabs, so if you guys want one, look down in the description and there's some links there. We've got several colors. Plus, you or your business will get a shout out right here on the show, just like they did. There's other ways as well in the description to help support the channel, like affiliate links, and some of them will save you money, some of them just help the channel, and there's even ways to donate if you feel inclined. It's definitely not necessary, but it is greatly appreciated. It all helps me keep making these helpful videos. This video right here, I had to pay to get this amp repaired, and it wasn't cheap, so things like this help get that done. And hopefully this video will help someone. Now back to this amp. This was one of 3 that I received from American Bass, and this one showed up completely dead, totally non-functional. It was packed in a box like it was new and sent here, but it never worked. They never offered to replace it. They never even responded. It just sat here until I paid out of pocket to get it repaired. They didn't even try to get it back. They just went silent. So while the numbers weren't terrible, the experience really was, and that's why I can't recommend it. If you've been wondering where I've been for the last 2-3 weeks, I've just been taking a little break. I haven't posted in that time, but I'm planning to drop new content every weekend for the rest of this month, as long as things don't get too busy on the dad front. I've got a new channel, if you didn't know, tech reviews. It's things like computer, head units, photography gear. Really, if it's got a screen or some circuits, then I'm gonna be looking at it. We've got a special segment on there called Terrible Tech, and that focuses specifically on the worst of the worst tech. You'll see, just check it out. I think you'll like it. I'd love to have some of you guys over there who enjoy that kind of stuff. There is a link in the description. Just hit the subscribe button right here so you can subscribe to this channel, because we're almost at 2,000 subscribers. I'd love to hit that mark this month. That would be amazing. Ring the notification bell. YouTube's gonna recommend another video like right here somewhere. Go ahead and click that, and I'll see you over there.